Ladies and gentlemen, I know just like me, most of you have been following Raila Amolo Odinga's politics or the way he does things generally, and you know probably what he's doing right now. Ever since he lost the AUC, he has come up with some funny vocabularies, things that have been existing before, but now brought in a new way. One of them is to consult with the people.
But watch this space. Yeah. I'm going to make a statement.
But the fact remains, if Raila won the seat in the AUC, could he have still come back to Kenya to consult with the people? No. And let's also ask ourselves, did he consult with the people before he went for the AUC? Now, in a nutshell, I'm going to do an extensive analysis on what Raila Amolo Odinga is up to. But before I take you through, let me first of all apologize for not uploading videos for the past 3 days because I've been having a flu, which personally it has been affecting me so much even to talk and even make videos. Thank you so much for those who've been waiting. Kindly make sure that you subscribe, like, and comment because that is the best support you can always give this channel. Let me dive into the topic today. Raila Amolo Odinga is simply doing what he has been doing in other times of politics. Let me tell you what Raila Amolo Odinga is doing. Rebranding himself to be actively involved in the Kenyan politics. What do I mean by rebranding? I'll give you examples on what Raila Amolo Odinga did before so that you can understand what he's doing right now. Number one, when Raila Amolo Odinga had a handshake with Uhuru Kenyatta, there were mixed reactions in the country on what Raila Amolo Odinga did, whether it was right or wrong. And in the eyes of his supporters, Raila Amolo Odinga did not do the right thing. It was a disappointment to some extent. As we speak today, he's called to stand with William Ruto, especially after the Gen Z protest, did not augur well with the Kenyans. That is the same scenario that Raila Amolo Odinga had in 2018 before. Now as we speak right now, what is Raila Amolo doing right now that he did before? After he had a handshake with Uhuru Kenyatta, he established what we call Building Bridges Initiative, BBI. That BBI became the tool for rebranding for Raila Amolo Odinga to make himself look good in the eyes of Kenyans. And indeed, he managed to do so. Raila Amolo Odinga brought some good things within the BBI. Things that as a country, we felt they were okay. And to be much, much more specific, things that could attract Mount Kenya support towards his side. It was generally starting a conversation, a good conversation about himself within the country. So people liked Raila Amolo Odinga generally from the BBI proposals that were there. He even told Kenyans that these are agreements, these are things they sat down with Uhuru Kenyatta and they agreed that they need to be done as far as Kenya is concerned. So Raila Amolo Odinga moved from place to place to campaign in the form of asking the people of Kenya opinions about their opinion about the BBI project. He went across the country and indeed he rebranded himself. The conversation about Raila Amolo Odinga being the hero again reemerged. It again reemerged. That's how Raila Amolo Odinga reached to a point, even started what we call having talks with various regions again on how they are going to change their regions. In that, if Raila Amolo Odinga is going to prepare a manifesto, what are they going to include there as far as a certain region is concerned? So in a nutshell, Raila Amolo Odinga does what we call rebranding. So as we speak right now, his plan, for those who are asking himself, what is he doing? He's simply rebranding himself again. He has just started. Probably the fact remains that right now, many people might not buy his initiatives because it is something he's been doing before and people feel like it is not necessary. When he's going to speak next week, whatever he's going to say, it is simply aimed at rebranding himself. There's nothing good that will come out of the Kenyans, out of the statements that he'll make. Why am I saying so? The BBI, despite the amount of money that was used on it, rebranding himself, it was not achieved. They knew very well that there's somewhere the law is not clear. Or there's somewhere they went against the law. But they went ahead and did it. That means that he did not care whether it passed or not. It was just rebranding himself. Despite that, the BBI has never been pushed again. It never went through. So there were no benefits. It was only the expenditure of the public funds in the campaigns. So even the handshake with Uhuru Kenyatta, what did it bring to this country? There was nothing significant. People say peace. Yeah, no one was fighting the other. No one. It's only that they're bringing the same language right now in the name of broad-based. But there was no war that was in the country. It's only that the political opinions that did not merge. People were saying this and the other one was saying the other thing. And that is normal. That is normal. So in a nutshell, we don't expect good from next week's announcement. We'll only say things that will be able to capture people's minds so that at least people could align to his side again. Let me tell you one simple thing. Raila also uses one simple tactic here, exciting his supporters. He listens, then asks himself, what do these people want? How can I do it to look like I'm doing it for them? That's the question that he always asks himself. Let me give you an example here. When Raila Amolo Odinga was going to swear himself at Uhuru Park, the fact remains that his handshake with Uhuru Kenyatta was already done. Everything was agreed. They were already together. The swearing in, if you remember, even the police officers were withdrawn from there. The swearing in was entirely to achieve the objective of the people. He had already sold the narrative to the people that let's swear we will tutakula Biblia. So the people bought it. They were excited about it. For Raila Amolo Odinga to achieve it, to make his supporters satisfied, he had to swear in himself. That is why Miguna could not be allowed to be in the country, because he could have pushed the agenda of Raila Amolo Odinga, which was completely different with with Raila Amolo Odinga's agenda. If you've understood me. Raila Amolo Odinga, he had created the idea that he's going to swear himself as a president, and then he's going to have a cabinet, and then we are going to run the country parallel to Uhuru Kenyatta's. That was the same idea Miguna had. But Raila Amolo Odinga was different. The idea he had was with Uhuru Kenyatta, to later on have a handshake and run the country together. So the fact remains, Raila Amolo Odinga rebranded himself after having what you call the swearing in ceremony. So he excites the people, he gives them what they want, and then later on cools them down. Now, that is the same way that is going to happen right now. He knows Kenyans, especially the youths, are against him. Right now, he's going to collect maoni, which of course he already knows what he's supposed to tell the people. Now, after collecting the fake collection that is happening in the country, if you are keenly watching, is doing it where he believes very well there will be no heckling. Okay? He's going to regions he knows very well there will be no heckling here. There will be no booing. So, he will pretend to be collecting the maonis, the opinions of the people. Then, he will assume that he's acting on their behalf. Then he will now announce next week, that the government is going to do this, and that. Just to simply satisfy his supporters. To make people feel that he has done a good thing. Just announcing. Let me give you an example here. When the Gen Zs were killed, and Raila Amolo Odinga came to calm them down by stopping the demonstrations and trying to create an environment for him to vie for the AUC seat. He announced publicly that he's going to ensure all those who lost their lives have been compensated. He said that because he expected the youths to expect that from him. So he said it to satisfy the youth, but have people been compensated? No. There's no doubt that next week he might probably say the same things, because he feels that people need to be compensated. So in a nutshell, as we speak today, let's not expect Raila Amolo Odinga to speak anything to do with the governors. If it's public expenditure that is wasteful, it's going to happen. If it is the corruption cases to go high, they're going to happen. If it is the budget that is not going to be adjusted to fit the common man, it's not going to happen. He's simply going to take the political part and simply do that. That is the basic Raila Amolo Odinga that we know. For the few years I've been living and watching Raila Amolo Odinga, nothing significant is going to happen. My name is Abel Mukwa. Let me see on the comment section what you think Raila Amolo Odinga is doing.